should cause some concern to the litigants when the judge walks in and says, "Good afternoon," and it's only 11 o'clock. We are here on the matter of the state of Oklahoma versus Tess Ross. Are there any stipulations or agreements to be entered at this time? Do we have an agreement that there was a decal on the Suburban? Right. We'll proceed with that stipulation then. Is the state of Oklahoma ready to proceed? All right. Is the defendant ready to proceed? All right. At this time then, we can have the opening statement of the state of Oklahoma. Good morning.
There's the direct attorneys, Ashley Church, Drew Torby, and Chelsea Espinoza. There's the cross attorneys, Peyton Franklin, Riley Farmer, and Tristan Knopf. And I'd also like to introduce the witnesses, Sam Blandon as Aaron Thompson, Colby Motes as DJ Harrell, and Natalie Stiles as Courtney Spears. I would like to introduce the bailiffs, Chad Lewis and Cody Hayward. I'd also like to introduce the timekeepers, Nathan Pam and Hayden Paula. I'd also like to introduce one more person, Shannon Farrenthal as a closing statement. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, according to alcoholalert.com, in 2006 alone, Oklahoma had over 13,000 alcohol-related accidents that year. Over 16,000 people are killed from alcohol-impaired drivers in those accidents. We are here today to talk about how Jeffrey Gonzalez died. On the early hours of January 21st, 2007, Jeffrey, young, smart, talented man, was on his big route to work money for his baseball uniform. Jeffrey was allegedly struck and killed when a white Suburban named allegedly Tess Ross hit him. DJ Harrell, here today, will testify that he hosts a lot of parties, and he invites Tess because she brings the alcohol to the parties, and he doesn't and will not do drugs. He also testified that Tess had drunk a lot at the party. This is one of the many reasons Tess is irresponsible. Aaron Thompson will testify that Tess, when she was babysitting his child, was found smoking on his back porch when he got home. That is also another reason she is irresponsible. He also testifies that he saw Tess getting into her mother's car and also saw Jeffrey signing his paper out. He testifies to hearing a thud a moment later. Courtney Spears will testify that she was called to a hit and run scene around 5 o'clock a.m. She states that she met up with Aaron, and he states that he had allegedly seen Tess Ross driving away from the crime scene in her mother's car. Michael Waddle, a track teammate of Tess, she will testify that Tess had not been drinking at the party. She will testify that because she does not want Tess to get caught drinking because then she is dropped from the track team. The only main thing Chris Meltzer will testify is that it was icy, foggy, and dark the morning of the accident. The one thing Tess will testify is that she wasn't like any wrongdoing, even drinking. As the court knows that opening statements are not evidence, they are merely facts we would like to point out. This includes the opening statement of the prosecution. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Opening statement for the defense.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. My name is Tori Coggins, and I would like to introduce my co-counsel. This is Randy Maddox, and she's the direct attorney. Rebecca Peretti is a direct attorney as well. Josh Moran is a cross attorney. Matthew Whitlock is a cross attorney. Logan Webb is a cross attorney. And playing the role of Tess Ross is Carson Klingle-Smith. Playing the role of Micah Waddle is Colby Duclos. And playing the role of Chris Melcher is Drew Dowd. heard the prosecution story, but that's exactly what it is, a story. A story without proven facts, a story that cannot be proven without a reasonable doubt. In the early morning hours of January 21st, Tess Ross, who was never drinking, left the party with her friend Micah Waddle and headed home. Once she dropped off Micah at her house, Tess drove straight home. While we are very sorry for the death of Jeffrey Gonzalez, Tess never saw Jeffrey and never hit anyone with her car. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we agree with the prosecution that drinking and driving is bad, and that the statistics show that many lives have been claimed from it. But we can assure you that Tess Ross was nowhere near the scene of the crime. Today you will hear from Tess Ross, a student at Moore High School, and she is on the track team. She is very dedicated to this sport, and she would do nothing to ruin her career. She will testify that she never drank and the reasons why. Micah Waddle, also on the track team, will testify that she was at the party with Tess and that there was no way that Tess had been drinking. She will also testify about Tess's dedication to track. Micah will explain that there was no way Tess was drinking and driving that night because Tess was never drinking at the party. We will also bring up Chris Melcher, who will testify to the weather was like and that it was way too icy, foggy, and dark to see anything, which means that Erin Thompson could not have seen what happened to cause Jeffrey to fall. She can't even be sure that it was a car that hit him. Also pay close attention to the witnesses that the prosecution will bring to testify and listen closely to how unreliable each of these witnesses are. They will bring up Detective Slater, who did a poor job of handling the scene of the accident and arrested Tess and charged her with manslaughter unfairly without enough evidence. They will bring up DJ Harrell, who will testify that Tess was drinking. But how can we believe a teenager who hosts parties with alcohol for underage kids? Finally, they will bring up Erin Thompson, but she has a grudge against Tess because she caught Tess smoking while babysitting and fired her without giving Tess a chance to explain. Your Honor, you will hear that all of the facts in this case. We are sure you will find Tess Ross innocent of charges. The prosecution cannot prove her guilty without a reasonable doubt, and therefore you cannot find her guilty. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm sorry I missed your last name, please.
Comments?
All right. Thank you. At this time, State may call your first witness. Before we have the first witness, let me also inquire, if anyone who is filming this matter wants to move over this way, we can make those arrangements if you want to do that. So if any of the people have...
We'd like to call Erin Thompson to stand here.
Right. You'll come forward and be sworn by the bailiff.
You promise that the testimony you're about to give will faithfully and truthfully conform to the facts and rules of this one trial competition.
Please
Proceed.
Oh, sorry.
You may proceed.
Please state your name and age for the court.
My name is Erin Thompson. I'm 43 years old.
How do you know Tess Ross?
Tess used to babysit for me.
How long did she babysit for you?
Tess babysat for approximately 7 years.
Did you ever run into any problems with Miss Ross?
Yes, big problems.
What kind of problems?
I caught Tess smoking on my back porch.
What, if anything, did you do about this?
I fired her.
Why did you fire her?
I don't believe in smoking or drinking, and I don't want either on my child.
I'd like to direct your attention to the morning of January 21st, 2007. What were you doing that morning?
I was getting ready to go to work.
What happened next?
I was walking outside to get my car, and I saw Jeffrey Gonzalez getting ready to do his morning paper route.
What happened next?
Well, I turned around to get my car, and I heard a loud thud.
What was the cause of this loud thud?
Well, when I turned around, I saw a white Suburban speeding away, which was kind of unusual.
What was unusual about it?
Well, I could identify the vehicle as Tess Ross's mother's car.
How could you identify this vehicle as Miss Ross's mother's car?
There was a sticker on the back window that said "Proud Mom of a Track Star."
What happened after you identified the car?
I saw a pedaled mask laying next to a bicycle.
Who did the bicycle belong to?
I can identify the bicycle as Jeffrey Gonzalez's.
Around what time was this?
Around 4:30 a.m.
What, if anything, did you do next?
I rushed to Jeff's side to see if he was okay. I saw him bleeding from the head, so I called the police.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Cross-examination?
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Would you say you're friends with Tess Ross?
No.
Would And that's because you caught him smoking while babysitting, correct?
You could say that.
Would you say you had a grudge against Tess Ross?
No.
Was your child inside when you saw him?
Yes.
Is there... Was it cold that day that you found Tess?
Yes.
So you could say... You could have mistaken her breath as smoke, correct?
No.
It was foggy that morning, correct?
No.
On the morning of the accident, it was
Yes.
foggy, correct?
Yes.
And it was dark as well, correct?
Yes.
How could you possibly see if the car was a white Suburban if it was in the dark and foggy early mornings or early hours of the morning?
Because the car was white, the whiteness stood out in the darkness.
Okay, let's say that you did see the car was white. How could you, in the dark and fog, see that it was a Suburban?
Well, the taillight was right next to the name of the car.
So the taillight was on, yet you could not see the license plate, correct?
I'm sorry, sir, if you'll respond with a yes or no to the question, please.
Yes.
If you could not see the license plate, then how can you say, without a doubt, that it was Tess Ross's mom's white bumper sticker on the car?
Because the sticker was right next to the top taillight.
When you were at school, how many kids, as a rough estimate, would you say were at
Objection,
your
Your Honor,
high school?
irrelevant.
Response to the objection?
Your Honor, Emily Foundation.
I'll allow objection to be overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure.
In your opinion, would there be a watch while you were there?
Yes.
In your opinion, would a white Suburban be a common car for mothers who have kids that go to school?
Yes.
And when you were at school, can you say, as a rough estimate, how many kids were in track?
30 or 40.
So, in this day and age, would you, in your opinion, say that it would not have changed a lot?
It could have changed.
So, it is possible that there are 30 or 40 children that moms,
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
Response?
Your Honor, I was asking if it was possible, not if it was true.
All right. This decision will be made by the court on probabilities and not possibilities. I'll sustain the objection.
Thank you. Seeing as there are, as you say, around 30 or 40 children that are in track in a school, and there are lots of white minivans, it could have been possible that somebody else was in the car and that it was somebody else's car.
I'm absolutely positive it was Tess Ross's mother's car.
And how can you be absolutely positive it was?
That is the only car that I have ever seen with the white bumper sticker.
Exactly, the only car you have ever seen. Yet it is possible, seeing as it is very unlikely that you have seen every car in Oklahoma, that somebody else has that car with the white bumper sticker.
I still say I'm absolutely positive it was Miss Ross's car.
Did you actually see a car hit Jeffrey Gonzalez?
No.
Have you ever tried to ride a bike on ice?
No.
Well, let me tell you, it's very hard. Seeing as riding a bike on ice is next to impossible, would you say that it is possible?
Objection, Your Honor, it's irrelevant how you can ride a bike on ice.
Response to the objection?
I'm laying foundation trying to get to my question.
I'll allow at my discretion only with the objection. May proceed.
The objection was sustained, Your Honor?
No, sir. It was overruled. You may proceed with the question.
Sorry. Jeffrey Gonzalez could have fallen off his bike because of the ice, correct?
I am sure that he was hit by a vehicle.
Yet you did not see him get hit by a vehicle, correct?
No.
And a thump could have been caused by Jeffrey's head hitting the side of the pavement, correct?
The thud was way too loud for it to be somebody just falling over.
I have no further questions this time, Your Honor.
Thank you. Redirect.
Yes, I'd like to redirect.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, may I approach my table?
Yes.
So you're positive that it was Miss Ross's mom's car?
Yes.
And you can see the sticker clearly?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor?
Thank you. Recross.
Yes, Your Honor. May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
So let me get this straight. You heard a loud thump, and you saw a bumper sticker, and so you are completely convinced that it was Tess Ross's mom's car, and that Jeffrey Gonzalez was hit by a car, correct?
Yes.
How exactly could you have completely, without a doubt, known that it was Tess Ross's mom's car?
I am absolutely positive.
Your Honor, will you please ask the witness to be more specific?
All right. The question was, how are you positive about that? If you'll respond to the question, please.
I am positive because of the sticker.
Yet earlier, we established that there could have been other white Suburbans with a bumper sticker on it that said, proud parent of a rock star track. Correct?
Yes, but I still say I am absolutely positive.
And you never truly heard, or you never truly saw the car hit Jeffrey Gonzalez.
No.
Did you see Tess Ross in the car?
No, I did not.
I have no further questions at this time.
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony, sir. You may step down. State of Oklahoma may call your next witness.
Your Honor, the prosecution calls its next witness DJ Harrell.
Come forward and be sworn by the bailiff, please.
Do you promise that the testimony you're about to give will faithfully and truthfully conform to the facts and rules of this mock trial competition?
Yes.
Good morning, Your Honor. Present counsel. Can I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Please state your name and age for the court.
I'm DJ Harold, I'm 17,
What high school do you attend?
Moore High School.
What is your relationship with Tess Ross?
We aren't real close friends, but we know each other pretty well
And how long have you known her?
for about the past 3 years.
Directing your attention to the night of January 20th, 2007, what were you doing?
I was hosting a party,
What were you doing at that party?
making sure no one got hurt and the house stayed clean.
And who was at your party?
Tess Ross, Michael Waltnell showed up, and a few other of my friends.
Why do you invite Tess to your parties?
Because she's one of the popular people and I don't want her to be left out.
Did you happen to notice what Tess was doing the night of the party?
She was drinking a lot.
How long did your party go on?
It lasted from about 11 at night to 7 the next morning.
When did Tess leave?
She left about 4 a.m.
Do you know who she left with?
She left with Michael Waddle,
Do you remember what they were driving?
a white Suburban.
What can you remember about that Suburban?
It had a bumper sticker, or it had a window sticker.
How many other people do you know that had that specific window sticker?
None.
Do you remember what the window sticker said?
Proud to own the track star.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Yes, proceed.
Yes, sir.
So you're 17, correct?
Yes.
You eat the parties pretty regularly, right?
If you consider once a month regularly.
And you're usually drinking at these parties, correct?
Yes.
You require your guests to drink alcohol, right?
Only some of them.
You said in your statement that you require all guests to drink alcohol. Which one is it?
In my statement, I only said some of the guests bring alcohol.
You invite Tess to your parties because you say she brings the most alcohol, right?
That, and I don't want her to be left out.
You like Tess?
Not really.
Why do you invite her?
Because I don't want her to feel left out.
So what you're telling us is that you use Tess.
A little bit.
So you don't care anything about her, you just want alcohol.
I want alcohol for my parties.
You drink?
No.
So, how old are you again?
17,
And what is the legal drinking age?
21.
Are you aware that it is illegal to host a party where alcohol is consumed when there are minors present?
Yes.
You did not tell your parents you were hosting a party, correct?
Yes, I did.
So you told them you were hosting a party, but you didn't tell them there would be alcohol, right?
My older brother was there, and he said he would have alcohol there.
Can we trust you? Can you stand today?
Yes.
How did guests get to your party?
Most of them drove. I think Michael Waddle jogged there.
So they drive to your party, and then they drink, and they drive home drunk, correct?
Most of the time, they crash at my party, so when they get up, they're under the legal intoxication limit.
And you don't care whether they're drinking or driving, correct?
No.
All you care about is the fun you're having at the party, right?
I care about the fun everyone else has.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Another examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
May I proceed?
information purposes, why do you invite Tess Ross to your parties?
Because she brings most alcohol and I don't want her to feel left out.
Do you realize, does she know? Has she told you that she knows about why you invite her?
No.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Recross. Thank you. You may step down. State of Oklahoma, I call your third witness.
Your Honor, the prosecution calls Courtney Steers to the stand.
Do you promise that the testimony you're about to give will faithfully and truthfully conform to the facts and rules of this mock trial competition?
Yes. May I
Proceed.
Could you please state your name and age?
My name is Courtney Steers. I am 33 years old.
What is your current occupation?
I'm a detective.
How long have you been a detective?
8 years.
Why are you here in court today?
I was called to the scene of a hit-and-run car accident.
What was the time and date of the accident?
It was around 5 a.m. January 22nd, 2007.
What did you observe when you got to the scene?
That Jeffrey Gonzalez was lying on the ground next to his bike, which was open.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Your Honor, would you like a copy?
Please. Go ahead. Okay.
Would the opposing counsel like a copy?
Thank you.
Could you please identify what I just seen with you?
It is an autopsy report.
Has it been tampered or altered with?
No.
Your Honor, at this time, I ask that the autopsy report be entered into evidence as prosecution exhibit 1.
Response to the offer of State's Exhibit Number 1. Is there a response from the defense team as to the offer of State's Exhibit Number 1?
Yes.
Any objection?
No.
Court will bid State's Exhibit Number 1.
Thank you, Your Honor. Could you show the court where the damage is?
Right here on the head.
What does the rest of the document say?
It says trauma to the head, cracked skull. Body is that of 15-year-old male, good health, large crack in skull, multiple broken limbs, multiple cuts, scratches, and struck by a large moving object.
Going back to the scene of the incident, was there anyone else at the scene when you got there?
Yes,
Who was it?
Aaron Thompson.
If anything, what did he say?
He said that he had seen a white Suburban driving off the scene.
Was there any further investigating?
Yes,
What was it?
I obtained a search warrant for the Ross residence.
What, if anything, did you find when you were at the Ross residence?
I found a white Suburban that was, that Aaron Thompson said had been at the driving off the scene.
Who was the car registered to?
To Michelle Ross, Tess's mother.
Was there any particular marks or anything that would identify the car better?
Yes, there's a yellow window sticker with blue letters that said Proud Mom of Track Star.
Was there anything else?
No.
Did you ever question Tess Ross?
Yes.
What did she say?
She said that she had been at a party and she had driven her mom's Suburban there and back.
Was there any more people that you questioned?
Yes.
Who were they?
DJ Harrell.
What did he say?
He said that he was hosting the party and it went straight to the next morning.
Your Honor, I have no further questions at this time.
Thank you. Cross-examination.
Yes. May I proceed?
Yes, sir.
So you have questioned people that were at the party that night, right?
Yes.
Did they say anything about Tess Ross drinking?
DJ Harrell said that she had been drinking a lot.
When you showed up to the Ross residence, at the time, did you give Tess Ross a breathalyzer?
No.
How long would you say it took for the arrest of Tess Ross?
Not long.
So what is normal protocol for
We
arrest?
wait until we get all the evidence that we could use to make the arrest.
How fast do you estimate the driver was going at the time?
75 miles an hour.
When you were at the Ross residence, did you test the car for any blood or anything else of that matter?
No,
At the scene of the bicycle accident, did you look to see if any paint had rubbed off on the bike?
there had been nothing on it.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Further redirect
No, Your Honor.
for testimony or step down? Further witnesses from the state?
No, Your Honor.
State rest? State rest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. This time, defendant may call your first witness.
The defense calls Michael Waddle to the stand.
Come forward and be sworn, please.
Please state your name and age for the court.
My name's Michael Waddle. I'm 15 years old.
What, if any, hobbies do you have?
I go running in the morning
Why do you go running in the morning?
to stay fit and get ready for my school track.
Are you friends with anyone on your track team?
I'm very good friends with the girl named Tess Ross.
Does Tess, in your personal opinion, show that she's dedicated to track?
Yes, she's very dedicated.
Has she ever missed a practice?
No,
Why do you believe she hasn't?
her family loves track, and she even stuck a sticker on the back of her mom's car.
Is her mom the only one with one of these stickers?
No, everybody who goes to track gets a sticker.
When, if ever, do you party?
I only party when my track team wins.
What kind of parties do you normally attend?
Rock band or guitar hero.
Have you ever been to a party hosted by DJ Harrell?
One, but I didn't go back because I didn't like those parties.
How do you know DJ?
He used to be on my track team.
At any of his parties, or any parties at all, have you ever seen Tess drink?
No,
Have you ever seen Tess drink at all?
no.
On the night of question at the party, was there any drinking going on?
Yes,
Who did you see was drinking?
DJ and all of his friends.
On the night of question, why did you leave the party?
We were tired and we had a track meet later that day.
Which route did you take home?
3rd Street.
What time did you arrive at your home?
Around 4:15.
Think you have no further questions at this time.
Cross-examination?
May I proceed?
You may.
So you know Tess from track.
Yes,
In your opinion, how dedicated to track is Tess?
she's very dedicated.
Would you consider you too close?
Yes.
While you were running on the 21st, was anything happening?
That night it had iced a little, but the neighbors had salted the sidewalks.
Was there a party?
Yes, there was a party.
So did you go to this party?
I went in to make sure Tess was okay, but I didn't stay very long.
Was there a white Suburban at this party?
Yes,
Who all do you know that has a white Suburban?
there's Tess Ross's mom, and there's a few other people on our track team.
Was there anything on this car that would help notify that this car was Tess Ross's mom's car?
There was a sticker, but all of the track stars have one.
While you were inside at the party, was there drinking?
Yes,
Were you okay with that?
I was okay, but I don't really like drinking, but I could stand it.
When did you leave the party?
Around 4.
Did Tess take you home?
Yes,
Do you know what Tess did after she took you home?
she went home.
Is it possible that Tess went back to the party?
No,
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Rick?
Yes.
You said previously that all the sidewalks were ice, salted. Were all of them salted?
Most of them were.
Were they all on 3rd Street, did you say?
Yes.
Were they all salted on Tessa Street?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Recross? I'm sorry. All right. Thank you for your testimony. You may speak. Defense may call your second witness.
I would like to call Chris Wilcox.
Will come forward and be sworn by the bailiff, please.
Yes.
Can I proceed?
You may proceed.
Please state your name and age for the court.
Chris Melcher, 21,
What were you doing on the night of the accident?
studying,
Around what time were you studying?
1 a.m.
What did you do after you were studying?
I went outside to get coffee.
What was the weather like outside?
Foggy, dark, very icy.
Did anything happen outside?
I slipped.
If anything, what did you do after?
I went back inside to study.
Around what time did you go to sleep?
4 a.m.
How was the weather like when you went to sleep?
Stayed the same.
I have no further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you. Cross-examination.
May I proceed?
You may.
How early exactly was it?
1 a.m.
How long had you been studying?
For about 3 hours.
Why were you studying so late?
Because I had a test the next morning,
When exactly was this test?
around 7 a.m.
What day was this test?
22nd.
Were you tired at all while you were studying?
Oh, no, I was drinking coffee.
So you went outside to get coffee. Is this true?
Yes.
So do you do this a lot, eating, staying up, studying?
I only have tests.
Are you a good student?
I think I presided over the final conference state championship. I've also presided over every level of the national competition, including presiding over the national championship one year. So I have seen every level of the on-trial competition, from the first time the team even did a scrimmage against another high school, clear up to the national championship. I am concerned about the other schools in the state of Oklahoma going against this group of students. I agree with Judy. I have on my comments professional appearance, professional questions, very direct with all of the lawyers on the witnesses. I don't know if it's on the cameras, but a couple of times I kind of went, because I was kind of taken away by the testimony. The knowledge of facts. The other thing I found very interesting was how all of you conducted yourself. Never lose sight of the fact that you are on stage, not only when you're at the podium or when you're on the witness stand, but you are all on part of the competition as a team member the entire time. Now I look back and see a relaxed witness over here with his hands up like this. He's kind of in context. I don't know if he meant to do that or not, but he's in character. He's kind of relaxing. In the closing argument for the state, she says something, and I look over at the defendant to see if she's offended by it. The defendant, I don't know if he meant to do this or not, but he went. And I thought, that's exactly in character. She should have been offended. Keep in mind, she's on trial for her life and liberty right now. And when I have witnesses get up here and you appear very professional as an investigator, I kept saying, sixth graders? This is amazing. I want to compliment whoever wrote this program, this problem. This is an outstanding problem, particularly for students this age, but I mean, we can almost take this and put it right into a high school mock trial program. It's great. It was an equal problem as far as the presentation for the prosecution as well as for the defense. It's an outstanding problem that you really wrote together. Is this actually a class that you're doing at the sixth grade level for the teachers and for students?
No, I teach the gifted and talented group at my elementary school, and these are my sixth grade students.
You were all gifted and talented.
I only have 2.5 hours a week.
Is that right? I enjoyed the presentations. I thought, my wife is an attorney. I thought, wow, we've got some young lawyers here. We've got some professional witnesses. I do want to correct you on something, though. When you kept saying objection leading, I do want to show, not every question that the response would be a yes or no is a leading question. You kept coming back with, let me rephrase my question. All right, go ahead and rephrase your question. What I want to correct on you is, after about the third or fourth time, it was kind of like you were keeping score. I thought, well, I won that. After about the fourth time she did that, you almost went, and you sat down, and this young lady here turned around and started going like this to you. That's why I overruled your next objection. A leading question implies the answer. Well, the vehicle that struck this person on the bicycle was white, wasn't it? Everybody in here knows I'm going to go this. If I say, was the vehicle that struck the bicycle white? It could go either way. That's the difference between a leading question, one that implies the answer, and one that just asks for a yes or no question. In Oklahoma law, but you're a sixth grader, you wouldn't have any way of knowing this. In Oklahoma law, you can ask leading questions going into a new area. If you shift your subject matter, you're allowed to ask leading questions, yes or no answers, up to a certain point. Then once you get into that area, then you proceed with questions that don't imply the answer. And that's kind of to save time. I am absolutely amazed at the presentation and what you guys have done with this problem in the little amount of time that you've done it. You are all ready to walk in. What level, what grade do they start the mock trial program on?
I can't believe, I'm the 9th grade, so you all in 3 years. I want to see your faces in our real high school competition. I hope you'll consider it. Yes, indeed, and Judge, if you, with your permission, Beverly Maddox is our Moore High School mock trial coach, and has been involved for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years. She's had 2 teams every year since she began. And this was her brainchild, and these are her team members, both current team members, and a young lady who is now in college who came back to assist Miss Maddox. I just recently asked for comments from the high school students to help with our request for funds from the OBA and for our grant that we'll be presenting. And every one of her students responded and gave credit to their teacher, how much they loved her, but how much she had helped them grow as individuals. And you all have that to look forward to. So Beverly, thank you on behalf of the Oklahoma Bar Association mock trial program. I can't wait to get a copy of one of these tapes. I hope. I don't mind begging. I don't mind begging. But
It's these kids, though. When you're a teacher and you get the privilege of working with kids like this, and we have several others that had to stay back because we had 9 weeks exams, and these were the only ones that could get their exams done early, but we have several others as well. But these kids not only, Your Honor, wrote the case and prepared it for them in class, but they gave of their time to come and coach. And one thing that has impressed me about the sixth graders the most is that we have been there approximately 6 hours total to coach them. And that's it. That's all of the preparation they've had. So my kids did such a great job of helping them understand procedures. So all of the credit for training and coaching them goes to them. But the sixth graders, too, did a remarkable job of preparing and practicing at home and being attentive at the practices and wanting to do this. And Ms. Brackeen for allowing us this opportunity as well. And Judge, please, thank you so much for your time as well today. We could not have asked for a better person to oversee this. I appreciate it. It's such an honor to be here with you.
I don't know if any of you, since you were all looking this way, I'm the only one, except for the news media that was looking this way. And she sat there the whole time doing this.
And cried.
One of my proudest achievements, and I'm going to relate this to you guys, one of my proudest achievements, or something that's happened in my career, was when I coached the Mustang High School mock trial team, and as I said, we won the state championship. But what I'm more proud about, or most proud about, there goes my English teacher, was the fact that of the 13 students involved in that presentation, 6 of them are practicing lawyers. And I got a chance to write letters to the law schools for their admission on all 6 of them. One of them is a surgeon. One of them was a Navy pilot who was one of the first pilots going into Iraq. The other thing that I'm most proud of is the teacher, coach of that team, is now a practicing lawyer. And I got a chance to write a letter for her. Now they're all making more money than I am. Right there. But it's this program that has, and that's why I appreciate the members of the bar and the students who got involved in this. This program has an effect on students that we're not even aware of, but a life affecting effect. So it's to me, it's the best program that the Oklahoma Bar Association gets involved with. That's why when Judy approached me and said, you know, would you give up one of your courtrooms for 6th graders? I thought, how early are we starting this program? But if the students are going to put their time and effort into it, I'll put our time and effort into it.
Yeah.
And we'll provide the facilities.
You don't mind.
And I interrupted a trial with it, and I said, look, that's an important issue for me, to go into the other courtroom, because these kids have worked hard. I will tell you, I'm absolutely amazed of just how professional and how career-minded your witnesses looked as you appeared on the witness stand. I'm just blown away. You guys have really done an outstanding job. And I really appreciate you guys coming back and putting your effort into this. Maybe you want to consider a legal career, or maybe you guys want to consider teaching or something, but you've obviously had an effect with some young students. I applaud, personally, each and every effort that all of you have put forward on this. And I didn't mean to single you out, but I thought, oh, she's getting a little too much in this. But I thought you all did an outstanding job. And I look forward to having you at the state national or the state championship when you guys get up to this level. Don't burn out. Keep working on the program so that you can be involved when you're 9th graders. Boy, that's so far away from you guys right now. 9th graders and all the way up to your senior in high school. And then give law a consideration for a possible career. My wife and I enjoy it. We love being lawyers. And it's a great career where you can help people. With that, I'll get off my soapbox. We're going
Judge,
to,
do we need to confirm for just a moment they would like
I was just gonna
a
ask.
decision on?
presided over the final conference state championship. I've also presided over every level of the national competition, including presiding over the national championship one year. So I have seen every level of it. You guys have really done an outstanding job. And I really appreciate you guys coming back and putting your effort into this. Maybe you want to consider a legal career, or maybe you guys want to consider teaching or something, but you've obviously had an effect with some young students. I applaud, personally, each and every effort that all of you have put forward on this. And I didn't mean to single you out, but I thought, oh, she's getting a little too much of this. But I thought you all did an outstanding job, and I look forward to having you at the state national or the state championship when you guys get up to this level. Don't burn out. Keep working on the program so that you can be involved when you're ninth graders. Boy, that's so far away from you guys right now. Ninth graders and all the way up to your senior in high school. And then give law a consideration for a possible career. It's my wife and I enjoy it. We love being lawyers, and it's a great career where you can help people. With that, I'll get off my soapbox. We're going
Judge,
to.
do we need to confirm for just a moment they would like
I was just gonna
a
ask.
decision on?
See, I've always learned you gotta be flexible in the courtroom, so.
That's.
I have the pleasure or the responsibility of announcing a vestige to. Part of the reason why we took so long is it was hard to make these decisions. And not a unanimous decision, for the prosecution on best witness, we went with Erin Thompson, Sam Clayton. He was a tough little witness. I am very positive, absolutely positive. I have in my notes, hard witness to cross-examine. On best attorney, we went with the direct examination of DJ Harold Ashley Church. Came back up to the podium with no notes. She just started questioning me. On the defense team, best witness, Tess Ross, Karen Clemens. One of the things I liked about her was she stayed in character the entire time. Even before she testified or after she testified, she stayed in character the entire time, and we all have to do that. And on best attorney, let's see how tense it got in here. I got to tell you, Randy Maddox, we both gave you a 10 on your closing argument. That's the highest we can give you on your closing argument. So we know and I'm supposed to announce which team won. Before I do this, do we have any money on this? Is there any? All right. The jury's verdict, or the jury of two, the verdict is in favor of the defendants against the state of Oklahoma. Actually, you had a hard time proving her beyond a reasonable doubt, so we found in favor of, by a slim margin, in favor of the defendant. You voted Canadian County. With that, I really do wish to express my appreciation for the invitation to be part of this program. I think you did an outstanding job. I really appreciate what the students did coming back. it shows their dedication to this program. It's just, it's amazing to me, so. Bayla, if you let them stand up one more time, if you want to take pictures, I'll be making pictures or anything else. I really do appreciate, and I will stand up out of respect for each and every one of you. Thank you for your presentation.
All right.
Mary Elizabeth.